Andrew Neil has lashed out at the loony economics of the SNP in a damning tweet about Scottish independence. While support for Scottish independence continues to grow, Mr. Neil said the SNP need to be honest about the huge problems the country will face if it separates from the UK. Mr. Neil admitted he believes Scotland is very capable of running itself, warning it was the SNP he was worried about. In response to a Twitter message insinuating he was belittling Scotland, the former BBC journalist tweeted, "Not at all. Scotland very capable of running itself. But you need to be honest about huge problems, hit to prosperity for first decade or so of separation from SUK. And if it was based on loony economics of SNP Twitter hordes, you'd quickly be Banana Republic without the bananas." His comments come after a similar row sparked when Dr. Tim Rideout, convener of the Scottish Currency Group and a member of the SNP's Development Committee, brought up the need for a Scottish pound. Dr. Rideout claimed a meal at a restaurant would still be valued at the same as the pound sterling the day after the creation of the new currency. Mr. Neil replied by stating economic was not Dr. Rideout's strong point, before pointing out in order to stop the Scottish pound plummeting, interest rates would rise, causing detrimental issues for businesses. The former BBC journalist faced backlash from independence supporters. One person replied, "And if S-pound depreciates the price of our exports falls and Maria's demanded thus stabilizing S-pound. Balance of payments will be decent in I-Scot." But Mr. Neil hit back, saying Scotland will need one hell of a depreciation to make that decent. Previously, the SNP proposed an approach to use the pound without a formal currency union. Countries such as Panama and Montenegro do this with the US dollar and euro respectively. Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon is hoping to land a second independence referendum just 5 years after the Scottish public voted to remain part of the UK. So far, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has refused another referendum, but polls are now suggesting a majority of Scots are in favour of leaving the UK. Ms. Sturgeon claimed it has never been so certain the country will vote to separate from the Union.